Remember that.
Now a month, whatever it is, to access the blue tick premium Twitter account. Would you do that? Would you pay the extra?
I think that social media companies for a very long time have lived in an absolute fantasy where they've printed money from thin air by charging people for pixels, and they grew into these large conglomerates with too many staff sitting around doing nothing, having coffee breaks. And Elon Musk is a businessman. He's walked into the office and he's firing a bunch of people who are messing around doing nothing, and he wants his business to make money, as it absolutely should. And how he decides that happens is his prerogative. I don't see why we should sit and accept that a website needs 200,000 people sitting around discussing in long meetings, sitting on beanbags about policy of human rights of some garbage, when he's come along and said, no, I'm a businessman. We're going to charge for our service. We're going to reduce the number of staff. And we're going to be a functional, coherent company, as they should be. And it's his prerogative to do it, as he's bought the company. I think he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, because I remember the appalling censorship of the New York Post exclusive about Hunter Biden, the son of the president, about his laptop. This is 3 weeks before the election that Joe Biden won. He was heading, to a possible victory, but it was tight. And that story, they reckon, could have tipped it either way. But it was completely suppressed and censored, starting with Twitter, then Facebook, then others. Twitter literally locked out the New York Post account for 2 weeks for breaking a completely true story. And I thought that was shameful.
It's worse than shameful. It's worse than shameful. When you control information, you control the real world. They affect the real world in real time. They are genuinely affecting the reality people live in. They are not just a company. They're not just a social media platform. It affects absolutely every single person on the planet when it changes who is elected. I don't want to comment specifically on Hunter Biden or the laptop. I would never kill myself. But I don't think it's fair that they would hide certain key information that close to an election. And the fact that they've done that was done specifically to affect the world that we all live in. And we all have to suffer the consequences of those things. So to sit and say that these companies can just do whatever they want and they're private, etc. No, free speech is beyond important for democracy. It's important for the reality that we exist under.
Andrew Tate,
all right, let's
thank
pause
you for
this
joining
real
me.
quick.
I appreciate it.
Okay, guys, that was the end of the video anyway. So, yeah, so that is kind of obviously a huge thing where it could cause the different outcome, right, of the reality of the truth, right? And that's why, they always say, if you want to take over a country, if you want to take over society, first thing you got to do is pretty much take over their communications, right? It's the way they relay information. It's the way they relay the ideology. It's really the way to control the people. And that's really what it is. But at the end of the day, too, you can see, too, that ultimately at the end of the day, the truth always matters, wins out, because just like Elon Musk was able to buy this company, it's because they were effing up for so long in terms of their business model. You can't sustain a business model like, doing those policies and procedures that they were doing, right? Overstaffing, paying a bunch of people money that they really weren't doing anything to make the money back. And I get it, though. We're living in a crazy time that influencing is money. I think that's kind of one thing that Tate kind of, he realizes it, but I don't think he unfortunately kind of didn't catch himself there, is because he's a huge influencer. So influencing is a currency now. We all know that. That's how, obviously, Twitter has been able to freaking last this long without making money per se. And obviously it was worth billions of dollars that freaking Elon Musk was one of the only people in this world to be able to afford it, is because that influence that Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all these social media platforms have, it is a currency. We're living in a crazy day and age. How do we equate to that? We're still working out the bugs, as you can see. That's the reason why, Elon Musk was able to buy it off, and then now, obviously put an actual business policy and business structure in place to make it obviously financially successful. But in terms from an influencing and then obviously a net value aspect, it did gain in value. So I think, like I said, sometimes we forget how big influencing as a